Hello everyone. So today I'm going to present a workflow that everyone has really been asking me about in private messages, to share it, to explain in more detail how I set up this workflow. So normally everyone will need it. Why? Because it happens to all of us when we're watching videos on TikTok or Instagram or, well, social media in general. Even YouTube. Sometimes we come across a video that goes viral, meaning we see millions of views and we think, hey, that's really interesting. There you go. We save it to our favorites and then we say, one day I'm going to do the same thing. With this workflow, when you watch and find a viral video that's interesting to you in your niche and you'd like to recreate that video yourself, all you have to do is send it to this workflow. What is it going to do? It will take the video, analyze it, and then use the Perplexity artificial intelligence to find information or an idea that is similar or close with the same structure and even with the latest updates. Then it will recreate the entire video for you with the description, the music, the text, and everything else that goes with it. And pay attention with your avatar, with your voice. That's what makes it so impressive. That means it's as if you filmed the video yourself, but you won't have to do any editing or human intervention at all. Once the video is ready, and this is really powerful, it will publish it here on 9 social networks. That means you can grab it on TikTok and just like that simply repost it. Today's video, I'm going to show you how to set up this workflow. That means I'll not only give you the JSON file to import, but also I'll explain to you step by step what each node does, why I set it up, and what its function is. That way you'll understand, and when you import the workflow, you'll be able to update it. The test I'm going to do in this video will be working on the TikTok channel of our friend Sabrina. So I'm going to click on popular. We'll grab a few videos together that are trending. We're going to take these videos and you'll see how I can take any video and have it published across all my social networks with my face, with my own text, and of course with text that isn't copied but is also original. So it will be inspired by her text or by her idea. Don't forget that I'll also be giving you a complete set of documentation. There you'll have all the code, everything that exists in this workflow. You'll also get it in the documentation. This is very useful for people who want to progress step by step. And the good news is, since I've already shared this workflow on YouTube and LinkedIn, several people have asked me to create a very detailed training where I start from a blank page to set up this workflow. So I've set up a 3.5-hour course on Udemy. It's a course where I took my time to explain to you, starting from a blank page, how I set up this workflow. Who might find this course interesting? For people who don't just want to copy the workflow, but who want to learn how to create their own workflow and be able to think in terms of automation. This course is for beginners, and what I'm going to do today is in fact offer a completely free coupon, which will be available for 100 people only. I'll place the coupon somewhere here in the course. So I'll mention it, I'll show it to you. As soon as you catch it, you can go to the course link and use it to get lifetime free access to the course. That means you'll just go in, simply enter your coupon here in this space to get this course for free on Udemy. For those who get the coupon, please do not share it in the comments. Let others explore the course, go all the way through so they can discover and find my coupon to benefit from this course as well. So if the coupon doesn't work, it means that somewhere along the way, the number of participants has exceeded 100. So sorry, you're too late. But for those of you who are here keeping up with me on the channel, you'll be able to take advantage of this coupon. All right, let's get started. We're simply going to set up the workflow on an n8n server first. That's the very first thing to do. And afterwards, we'll run it together so we can simply see the flow of data and, above all, for each node, what settings I used and which software I called. So as a result, you're really going to be well trained. This is an in-depth training. Here on YouTube, I think it might take about an hour or so. I haven't finished recording yet. We're going to do it together in real time. But the one on Udemy is even longer. It's 3.5 hours. There we go much more slowly. There we really start creating each node on our own. So thank you very much and see you in a moment. Enjoy the training. All right, let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is try to give you the source code for this workflow. Here, I'm going to download it. There, it has just been downloaded. And what you're going to do is go directly to this site. I'll also put it in the description for you. This is n8n.drferrez.vip. There you enter your email address, click I want the n8n templates, and then you'll receive an email containing the workflow. Be aware you will receive several emails. Look for the one that says TikTok clone. That one will allow you to do the import here, and you'll see this interface exactly like mine. Now I'll let you download the workflow so we can simply show you how to upload it to n8n. So in order to import my workflow properly, it's very important to have this interface, which is the n8n interface. And to get this interface, there are two ways to do it. So either I get an official account on n8n, but there are two problems with that. First of all, it's too expensive. We're talking about $20 a month here. And on top of that, I can only add 5 active workflows, which is really, really few. If you're someone who wants to do automation, who wants to create workflows, 5 workflows, honestly, that's really not enough. It's very difficult to really improve in automation with such a limit. So what's the idea? The idea is that I'm simply going to leave you the Hostinger link. This is the link that lets you get a pre-installed n8n server. Be careful, it's a special link because it's not a website server, it's an n8n server, so you really need to use this specific link. And here, the price is much more attractive. So you'll see that they offer several types of servers. I recommend the one with two processors. That's more than enough, really. If you have workflows like production or social media, 2 servers or even just 1 server with 2 processors is more than enough. There's no need to go for 4 or even 8. So for this one, you just need to click on select, and you'll see that here you actually have the option to choose a pre-installed server. That means you don't have to do any configuration at all. I'll show you the steps afterwards, how you just keep clicking next, next, next to complete the installation. No need to code, no need to do any installation yourself. And here, what I actually found on the internet, and this is also very interesting, is that there's another coupon called n8n. You enter this coupon, n8n, just like that. The n8n coupon, in fact, is valid, I was told, until the 31st, until June 30th, 2025. So if you're watching this video before June 30th, well, listen, even better, take advantage of this coupon. It gives you up to 15% off. And there you go, 15% discount. Really, it's very appealing. We're talking about 5.5 euros per month. This is very interesting. So you click on continue and you'll be taken straight to the setup. I'll show you how to do it. It's very easy. In 2 minutes, you can really do the complete installation. Let's get started. So the first thing to do is select the location of your server. Here, it's not very important, but for me, I actually choose France since it's the closest server to me. So I click on continue. Next, you just need to search for n8n. So either you type n8n or you go into the application section here and you'll find n8n. Be careful, sometimes when you search for n8n, it might show you different version variations. So there's n8n and there's n8n Q mode. We'll just take the most popular one, which is this one actually, since it's the simplest. Here you can see the basic installation options, and then you simply click on select. Select will just take you to this mode. Here, it offers you a small piece of software that will help you, basically saying it's an antivirus that will block unknown external connections. You can take it, it's free. So I click on next. And now it will ask me to create a password to access n8n, my VPS server. And here you simply click here and it will suggest a default password for you, or you can create your own password. And here, this is the name of your server. You can just copy and paste this one. In any case, you can retrieve it later, but you should simply copy and paste this URL and your password somewhere safe. And there you go, it's done. You just need to click here on finish. And now what it will do is start the installation and, if you will, the setup of your server. Generally, it will take a maximum of 5 minutes to get direct access to your server, which is a pre-configured n8n server. You won't have to type a single line of code. You'll have direct access to your dashboard to, well, create your first workflow. And that's it, it's done. So it shows me the message indicating that the installation was successfully completed. And now I can simply access it to manage our dashboard, our server. So in this interface, you have the option to change the language here. You can set it to whichever language you prefer. And you can see here that my server is up and running. That means I have an online server that will be running for 2 years, so it won't shut down. So every time I create a workflow, it will be active and operational online. And to manage this server and simply access your n8n, you'll find a small option here called Manage Application. You'll see when I click here, it will switch me over to my n8n interface. And so for the final step, I'm simply going to enter my email address here, my last name, my first name, and a password. This interface is one that will secure my access to n8n. The other access we had earlier was access to our server, but this one is access to n8n. So here, I just invite you to fill in this information and of course keep it in a safe place. And there you go, we're almost done. Last step, it asks me, do you want to receive a key or a license to activate your free lifetime license for your workflow? Well, of course, I'm going to click here to receive a code. It's a key that will unlock the workflows for life and for free. All right, I received the key online in my email inbox. What am I going to do? I'm simply going to go here, actually into my configuration area. And you'll see here in settings, you have the option to add your key. So look here, there's this option that lets you add the key. You just have to click. And now I'm going to copy and paste my key. And there you go. Now my key has just been activated. So you'll see that here I simply have unlimited use of my workflow. And that's it. So now my n8n server is ready to be installed. So if I come back here to my dashboard, I'll simply have the option to easily start a new workflow by clicking here. Now what I'm going to do is simply import here, but be careful, you shouldn't import the compressed file, you need to import the JSON file. That means when you download the zip version, you need to unzip it to get the JSON file. And so here you will click import, then select from a file. And here it's simple, you just select the file from your computer. It's this one actually. There you go, so I click on the file, then click open. And there you have it, I've imported my workflow. So it's true that if this is your first time using n8n, it's normal for it to ask you to configure Telegram, to create your account and so on. But don't worry, you can simply skip that and access it directly. And here in this video, I'm obviously going to run this workflow for you and we'll try to understand step by step what each node is doing and what its purpose is. Once you understand the purpose of each of these nodes, and of course with the documentation, you'll simply be very comfortable making the configurations and of course carrying out the necessary installations. I will try to talk about for each node what it does, its function, and of course with the documentation you will fully understand how to set it up and how to run it. So in this part, I'm going to execute my workflow, and above all, what interests me is actually understanding it. That means understanding this workflow, what nodes I'm using, which APIs I'm using, and everything related to querying artificial intelligence, whether it's for OpenAI or for Perplexity. We're really going to try to understand the complete mechanism of this workflow. And my goal actually is that once we understand the nodes and the flows, we'll be very comfortable later on, whether we want to rebuild it from scratch or even if we import it. We'll know exactly where we need to make updates. Because today, just having documentation is good, having documentation is nice, but it's not enough. Documentation actually needs to be guided, to be, directed by an expert so that you understand how to read the documentation. And that also allows you in the future, if you import a new workflow, you'll be able to read it on your own. You'll be able to understand the documentation and simply update it yourself. And that's the difference. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're actually going to try to start the execution. So it's true when we start the execution, if ever there is a bug or a small problem, it will actually be very interesting to see it together because I'm doing this in real time. This is a workflow that we're going to activate. So I really want the demonstration to be 100% real, and that will also allow us to have some discussions, among other things. So let's not forget that in our workflow, we will have two pauses. This one is 3 minutes and this one as well, so 3 minutes each. These two pauses will actually allow for the creation of the videos. Because when you ask an API to create a video, it needs time. So we let them create so that once the creation is done, this node here will then be able to retrieve it. The same thing here, when we add a text, we will of course give it the necessary time so that we can retrieve it afterwards. So we will run it, and step by step we will pause, observe, read, and actually understand the process, how it works and how it operates. Now I'm going to click on test workflow. Of course, once the workflow is 100% submitted online and validated by the client, we need to switch it to active mode. That means we won't have to click on test workflow every time, okay? Once it is set to active mode, from that point on, whenever it receives a message, it will simply be triggered. But I want to do this manually, because when I click here on test workflow, we'll actually see how it selects and how it sends the information. And that's it, because we need to do a review. But if we use active mode, it will be triggered without me even noticing. And so I would have to go look for it in the execution. And as a result, we wouldn't see all the traffic. So I'm clicking here on test workflow. So what's going to happen? Right now, it's actually waiting for me to send it some information. And here, as you can see, the trigger, that is the initiator, is waiting for me to send it a video on Telegram. So what's the idea? The idea is that I'm on the internet, say I'm browsing TikTok, and I come across a video that interests me. For example, this one. She's presenting 7 tools that can create AI agents without coding, okay? This one has 473,000 views, so that's a very, very high number of views. So this video is interesting to me, so I actually want to use it, I want to capture it. So how am I going to work with this? With my own avatar, right? That means I want to appear in this video myself. So how do you do it? It's very simple. First, I'm going to click to actually get its URL. So I'll take a short pause. Now I scroll down a bit and I'm going to grab this URL. In the company, actually, in real time, we do it in a way like, for example, we have an Excel file where we put all this information, or we're on our phones scrolling. Once we find something interesting, we copy it, and what do we do next? Here's what we do. So I click here and actually open Telegram. And here, of course, I have a channel, okay? It's actually a discussion panel that I created. This one actually needs me to send it the message, because as soon as I give it the message, you'll see here, it will trigger. So first I start by copying the message here. There you go. So now I'm going to paste it, copy, paste, paste. So this is the video that I'm sending, okay? So that's the URL of the video. And here, I'm not even using a connected TikTok account. It's simply a basic URL that anyone can, retrieve. I click send. If I actually send this video, what's going to happen? Hop, 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 hop. So it's working on it now. Right now it's working. So we'll just let it work, okay? We don't have any concerns about that. We've let it work for a moment, but still. Now I'm going to zoom out just a bit less than before, okay? Now let's actually zoom in a little more so we can go through a reading together, step by step, making sure we understand everything thoroughly as we go along. This reading will allow us to actually go through this whole section, and it will also let us look over the documentation so that you will simply be able to better understand the whole mechanism. So right now it's in the process of generating the video. So here, this is the video generation part. So we have 3 minutes left for it to finish. We'll just let it continue on its way quietly, but we're going to focus on the first part now. So let's get started. So in this first part here, we immediately have a whole dedicated space. This is a first section dedicated to analyzing the existing video. Everything we're going to see in this first step is that I'm going to analyze the current video. So my trigger is simply a Telegram message where it will receive the message, and then I'll actually call what is known as a rapid API. So this is an API that actually allows you to download videos, and it can handle several types of videos from various social networks, including those from TikTok. And when I use this API, it actually retrieves all the information about my video. You'll see when I look at the details of this API, these are really the pieces of information that I retrieve. So there's a huge amount of data. It retrieves the cover, the music, the video, the text that was written in it, everything related to that video, even information about the author. So here I'm capturing them. Once they've been captured, of course, I'll actually need to retrieve the cover. Why the cover? Because on Sabrina's videos, she always writes a title right there in those videos. And I'm interested in that title because it actually talks about the video itself. It gives me information, to get an idea. So for me, that frame is interesting. And so what am I going to do? I'm simply going to take it so I can get inspired and create other videos in that style. So once I've done the extraction, of course, I'll upload it to Dennerly. That's a free server that gives me the ability to host photos, videos, text, messages, whatever I want. Any information I have, I can host it there for free. Of course, there is actually a storage limit, but it's really, really useful to have the information hosted in this space because it helps me later on to send it to other tools for analysis. You can send it directly from this system. This system retrieves the data, but I actually need to host it so that I can analyze it. And so I simply use ChatGPT twice. The first time is for it to analyze the image, and if you tell ChatGPT to analyze the image, it is able to read the text within the image. Because if you look at the video, you'll see that in this video, there's a first image that actually contains the cover. The cover is this one, in fact. There's some text, the title, and the person's photo. So as soon as I capture this title, ChatGPT's task will be to give me the text that's written in the image. Once I have that text, you'll see I move on to a second step, which consists of what? Which now consists of retrieving the script. What did the person say in the video? So to retrieve it, it's simple. When I actually download the audio, I do it using, of course, a rapid API that allows me to retrieve everything from the video. Here, I'm simply going to download it first. As you can see here, I'm in the process of downloading it. Once I download it, ChatGPT actually has this option called transcribe audio. It has the ability to take an audio file and give me the text. That's something ChatGPT can do. And afterwards, of course, I'm going to try to retrieve the specific text that interests me. And here I actually need to assign an identifier to this video. Why do I assign an identifier? Quite simply, because here in the templates, all the templates I have here, I assign identifiers so that later on, if I look at my creation, I can say, oh, this creation corresponds to which template, to which original video. So thanks to this specific and unique ID, which I will conveniently find right here in the section for my video, this will simply and effectively allow me to retrieve, or in other words, access and obtain the original ID, which is essential for my purposes. It's just for reference so that after a month or two, if I want to go back to the original video, I can get the ID here. So the ID is a random number, and now I save the information. If I look at the video in question that we're looking at right now, if I go into the template and scroll down a bit, here it is. This is actually the title Top 7. So Top 7 Tools to Create AI Agents Without Coding. That title should be in the video we selected earlier, so I don't remember. Ah, there it is, it's this video. So we've already captured this title. So it's saved here. Everything Sabrina said is here in the script. And of course, here is the caption, meaning the information that comes with the video that was posted on TikTok. So all the hashtags and everything, I retrieved them. And of course, the original video. So what do I have here? I was simply able to receive all the necessary information from this video so that I can then start working on creating my own video. So here we're in the first step, which consists of what? Which consists of collecting all the data and information from the original videos. So now we're going to move on to the second part, which is a very important part. This is actually the part where I'm simply going to start creating my idea. You'll see that here it's about creating the idea, and here it's about creating the video. But why do we need to create the idea? Because this is a very interesting step, because we're not going to copy the video as it is. So what is the idea? It's about taking the structure, the general concept, and actually searching on the internet to see if we can simply create a more developed, improved idea. Sometimes The person in the TikTok gives some information, the video goes viral, but after 3 or 4 days, maybe there's an update, maybe there's something new. If I look here, Sabrina actually talked about tools that allow you to create AI agents without coding. The idea is very interesting. I can take the script, the idea she had, and I can suggest other tools. No, it's not just the same tools. Maybe she mentioned 7, maybe there are 8, maybe there are updates, maybe there's a new tool that's just gone viral. So as a result, I wouldn't need to mention all 7, I would just need to mention the new tool. So I draw inspiration from that information and will actually try to put it into practice. So how does it work? Well, here we simply have Perplexity. We use Perplexity because with Perplexity, in fact, we can simply create the section because Perplexity has the ability to access the internet. So when I ask Perplexity to look at the script of this video and I want it to give me new ideas or to check it and provide me with fresh ideas, it will rely on the internet. Unlike, for example, if I use ChatGPT, ChatGPT doesn't have the ability to access the internet. So as a result, I have to connect it with other tools to access the internet. But that's the strength of Perplexity. Here, I'm actually using the Perplexity API, which is the API that allows me to access the internet and send the data back to me. After that, of course, I'll need to clean up Perplexity's output because every time Perplexity gives me a result, it always includes the references it drew from. So I want to remove the references and keep only the main content. And of course, at that point, I'll ask Mr. OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, to create the new script for me along with the captions, of course. That data will, of course, be formatted because it's going to send me several pieces of data. You'll see that even here, I tell it, here is the script. How many characters do I want it to be? For example, here I tell it I want it to be 500 characters. And as for the result, I tell it that I want you to send me, of course, the text to put at the top, the script and the caption. That means everything like hashtags and information to go along with the video. Once it does that, obviously, I'll simply clean it up here and save it in my Excel file. So then when I go into my Excel file, I'll find that I have all the information properly set up there. The template code, the link, and well, actually here, this is the original. And so if you look here, this is my video and it's in my video that I start. So now let's go to the last row. So this is where the new one is. There you go. It's going to be this one. All right, let's check for there. That's the one. You'll see that here it has added the new information. So here it put with scale. So it only changed at the title level. And here it put company. So it changed a little bit here. And here I can see the caption that I'm currently looking at, the idea, of course, sent by Perplexity, and here the script that will read it. Obviously, this is its code, and here is the code from the first video. These are just internal details for my own reference. So I was simply able to do the second step, the one where it helps me prepare the new idea and the new script. All right, so now we're going to move on to the third step. This is a very important step because this is where I'm actually going to create my video. So you'll see that here, in fact, we're using a website called caption.ai. And of course, I show you all the steps in the documentation on how to create your API. Be careful, they give us a free API here that I can use to create videos. Of course, there is a limited number of videos I can create with it, but what's really interesting is that I can actually use it to run my system, test it, and make sure the workflow works really well. Then, if everything goes smoothly, I can simply sign up for this API. And what's really interesting with Caption, I'll show you this right now, you can simply click here to access it. Well, here, of course, in the more advanced part of the course, I also covered HeyGen, because HeyGen can also allow us to create this in a very nice and interesting way. But also for those who don't have a premium account on HeyGen, they can try it out with Caption. But in any case, here you have the link to the documentation, which is actually the same as Captions. There you'll find the API call as well as how to retrieve the voice and also how to generate videos. It's the same process, really. So for me, with Caption, when I access it here, you'll actually find in our back office that there's the option to add what we call My Avatar. What does avatar mean? It means that I record a short video of myself speaking, and then it simply clones my voice and the way I speak. As a result, thanks to this tool, I'm able to read scripts in any language: English, French, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese. So here, you're actually free to send whatever you want, and that's what makes this API called Caption so powerful. So here, if I go back to my workflow, of course, I'm calling on my avatar because there's the option to use avatars that are pre-made, but that's a choice. Personally, I used my own avatar. Then I simply asked it here to create this video for me, and once it's done creating it, I retrieve it. By the way, when I click here, I can actually see the video that was just created for me. Now I need to find the URL for this video. I think it's this entire URL here. Yes. So let's try to copy it. Anyway, it's there. Let's try to open it directly like this. So let's open it. We just copy it, and there you go. All right. So this is the video actually. I'll try to turn on the speaker so you can hear what I'm saying, because quite a few people have asked me to enable the video so that everyone can listen. All right, let's do it. So now here we go, and I'm going to start again from the beginning. Now, I don't know if the sound is clear or not. So I'm taking a little pause here. I'm reading the script in English. So everything you're seeing right now, that's not me. It's my avatar reading a script. So let's turn on the sound and hit play. Here are the top 7 enterprise AI tools to build AI agents for scaling workflows. But first, save this video, bookmark it, because you're going to check out each platform. If you don't know, they're the hottest in AI right now. First is ServiceNow, love it for HR automations. Number 2 is Postman, perfect for API-driven agents. Number 3, Webpath, an RPA powerhouse. Number 4, Vertex AI, ideal for data analysis. Number 5, Microsoft Copilot, great for 365 users. Number 6, Moveworks, handles service management. And 7, IBM Frameworks, focuses on compliance. If you've got some Python skills, don't miss AutoGen and Crew. Both bring hierarchical agent teams to life. Okay, so here, in fact, we just watched the video. Obviously, when you watch the video, there are some cuts. So, to make it more pleasant to read and watch, it's very important to actually add a description to the video, the text subtitles. You'll see this will bring a bit more life to the video. Of course, there's also the possibility to add background music. Everything that actually works with setting up this tool, whether it's text or music, we'll already see this in the documentation, and it's going to be with this one. So I have zone to video. This one is really, really powerful. I'll leave you the complete documentation here because its main strength is that it can actually handle all kinds of connections, texts, images, and music. So in this case, we use this system, and it will handle the entire transcription and give it to me here. You'll see the final video. Let's take a look at the final video if you want. I can retrieve it from here. So yes, it's actually this one. We're going to try to open it. We're going to access this video. There you go. So I'm going to do the same thing. There are top 7 enterprise tools, and there are tools to build agents for saving workflows. First, save this video. Bookmark it, because you're going to need each platform if you don't know them right now. This is your ServiceNow. Love it for HR information. I think you get the idea. Here, the text is being added, so it brings it to life. Of course, I could make even more improvements, but still remember that it's me. I just sent an original video. It did everything: script creation, video creation, and now content creation. You understand that this step is where I'm going to ask this API JSON to video to do what's necessary to create it for me. Now be careful, this is also free. You use it 100% for free. Everything it does with this API, it adds here in small like this, a little bit of its logo. But if you want to remove it, you just need to sign up. Signing up doesn't cost much at all. But if you don't mind the little logo, you can keep it and always work with the 100% free version. There you go. So now I'm saving my final video to my file. If I come here, my video here, I have the final video. Now we've just finished the very last step, which is my video is ready now. All that's left to do is submit it to all the social networks I want to select. So here we go. Now it's getting serious. Here I'm simply going to send this video. First, I'm just going to send it to Telegram. That's normal, so I can see the previews. First, let's activate this because I performed the action up to this point. I didn't want it to activate there. This way we'll see it together. Now I tell it, go ahead, test. If I open Telegram, I should receive the video here. There you go, it gives me the link and the video. That's great. so that I get notified. Usually I receive this after about 6 or 7 minutes in total from the moment I send the video. That's important. Next, I wanted to do it with you so you can see how it works. And then what will happen next? Here you can see there are 9 networks: Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Threads, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Pinterest, and Twitter. And then of course you need to decide enable or not enable the information. That means here you have an option called disable. If you're not interested in sending it to Instagram, you don't send it. If you are interested in sending it to YouTube, you send it. For example, here, I want to send it to Instagram. So why is this one pinned? We'll remove it so it's not pinned. I want to send it to YouTube. I want to send it to TikTok. What else? Facebook, Threads, okay, Twitter, that's X, LinkedIn, I'm going to disable it. There you go. Blue Sky, I'll disable it, and Pinterest. Okay, I'll just send it to those 3. It's a choice. Afterwards, it's up to you. So at the same time as I'm going to run it, before it runs, because to run it, it's simple. We'll just select all this and click on run. But before it runs, I'll quickly prepare the pages so I can show you how, when it runs, when I refresh, it should come up automatically. Here, I'm going to open a private browsing window with 6 networks that will be opened one by one like this. Then, each time I refresh, boom, it will be activated. But after that, it's up to you to choose the network that interests you. You're free to choose because you're not required to do it on all 9 platforms. You can do just one platform, TikTok, only TikTok. Or maybe you want to do it only on Instagram, or maybe you want Instagram and Facebook. After that, it's your choice. In any case, for the entire setup, of course, there will be very good documentation that I have provided for you here. This documentation shows everything from A to Z, from creating an Blotato account to connecting and setting it up. All of this consists of codes that already exist in the workflow, but they're still provided here so that you can easily set everything up yourself if you ever want to redo it from scratch. Okay, let's get started. Now, I'm simply going to open the 6 networks in another private window so we can view them together. And there you go. So here I've run the execution. I chose to run Instagram, I chose to run Threads and Facebook as well. Here, I did it manually because later on you'll have the freedom to select, disable or enable the network depending entirely on your needs. If I go here to Blotato, if I refresh here, you'll see it will show me the list of networks that have just been published right now. If we switch to private browsing, where we've opened the different networks, if I go to Instagram, this one has just been published. This is my video in question. If I go to Facebook, it's the same thing. This is the new video that was published. And if I go, what did we say? Threads, right? No, not Threads. We saw it on X. So let's check to be sure, because we tested on quite a few networks. What Blotato told me, it said we did it on TikTok. There you go, TikTok. Now let's go check TikTok. We're going to go to TikTok and refresh the page. We should find the new video that will be published here. And indeed, that's great. There, that's the video. Of course, afterwards, for the text and everything, we can adjust it a bit so that it's below the photo to make it much more readable. And then, of course, it's up to you to select which networks interest you once you've set everything up. At the end, in your workflow, it will execute everything at once. So we've now seen the complete process of the 4 steps. With the documentation and the step-by-step guidance, you'll obviously be able to understand the entire construction of this workflow. All right, you've stayed until the end. That deserves a reward, so I'm going to give you your gift right here. All you have to do is go to the training, which you'll find in the description, and simply enter this coupon. The coupon is FreeCool, with an S at the end, of course, so be careful if you try it and it doesn't work. Know that normally it should exceed 100 people. So it's only limited to 100 people. So as soon as you get the chance to try it, go ahead and test it. If it doesn't work, well, listen, the training isn't expensive anyway. And I'm also going to give you another tip to get access to this training for even less. Okay, so you enter the coupon, where is it? There you go, and you click on apply. As soon as you click on apply, it becomes free here, okay? Automatic. If it's free, you sign up right away and you can start whenever you want. It's lifetime access. It's great, and be aware it's certified. That means Udemy will give you a certificate of completion. In this course, you'll really see a lot of details, especially in the workflow section. I really start from scratch, from A to Z, everything related to configuration. I do it step by step. It's as if, well, I'm your coach and I'm actually helping you create the workflow. So this is really the best if you truly want to get all the work done. Now, if you ever want to go much further, on my website, and I think you have, the site drferras.vip. On that site, I have two packages. The first is a pack that contains 23 courses. So in these 23 courses, there's already the course I just mentioned to you, and then there are 22 other courses. So a total of 23 courses amounting to 100 hours in total. So in this one, you'll find everything related to n8n, everything about Make, everything about automation, everything about no code. You enter your email address and there you also have a little coupon. Be careful though, the coupon isn't always valid because it's very limited. This one is the May 2025 coupon. So if you're trying it and it doesn't work, that means it's expired because this one is also only available for a few days. You apply it and you'll get 50% off. So for 49 euros, you'll actually get 23 courses. So do the math. The course will end up costing you about 2 or 3 euros each, I think. So as a result, it's much more worthwhile here. And here too, it's the same thing. It works for the 123 courses. With this one, the 123, you already get the 23 courses that are here, plus an additional 100 courses. There's even an option that gives you access to all my future courses for free, for life. And as soon as you check that option, you'll also get, in fact, 21 more courses, 21 new courses, there you go, that don't exist here yet, which will be added later. So if you select that, you'll end up with around 140 courses or so. The code you can use here is May 2025. You activate it and voila, you'll get 50% off. So really, you should take advantage of it because I don't offer this kind of promotion every day. At the end, once you register, you'll get immediate access to all my courses, which are also available on Udemy, but at a higher price. For example, if you enroll in a course, you'll find that there will be the workflow to download the information and details, and then on the left, all the videos. You'll see here, you'll see how I do it. So I really start from a blank page, and then in the video, I explain all the details to you. You'll find me explaining actually all the videos, step by step. So it's up to you to decide if you really want to start automation, if you want to actually learn this profession. Having quality training is very important. It actually helps you to practice better and do lots of workshops with tools like n8n or Make, and that's kind of my goal. Don't forget that I actually offer a 14-day guarantee because I'm sure that after 14 days, you'll be someone capable of creating your own workflow from A to Z in an automated way. So generally when people join, they actually try out the training. After a few days, they're satisfied because they've actually learned how to create the workflow from A to Z. And when they see that there's a package containing about 20 workshops, honestly, they're going to be very happy, especially at such a low price. Thank you very much, and listen, I'll see you in my next interface, which is designed exclusively for people who want to learn and keep on learning. Thank you, and see you very soon.